Edge at 11 starts now.
Tonight on The Edge, they thought a broken down car was going to be the worst part of their night, but it was where their vehicle stopped that left them in a fight for their lives.
Fox News' Jessica Dupnik has more on an armed property owner in Brownstown Township who opened fire on the group.
One 911 call comes in. It's a man reporting a suspicious vehicle in front of his house. A couple minutes later, another 911 call. It's the people in those vehicles reporting that they're getting shot at. How long you live here for?
41 years.
Ever seen anything like this?
No.
These parts aren't known for this kind of thing, but Ken Hurst got a front row seat to all the action Tuesday morning.
It's crazy out there. I mean, that's all you can say about it. It's just crazy.
The story goes like this. A group of young people night fishing nearby this rural road in Brownstown Township. Their car breaks down. In true horror movie fashion, they're greeted by a belligerent man on his porch holding a rifle.
The gunman, I guess, was standing on the porch when I seen him, and he was just waving his arms going.
And without warning, he apparently started waving around a short barrel rifle, firing over and over at the group of 4 guys and 2 girls who were just waiting to get their car towed, all while yelling, "Get off my property."
They took cover behind the cars and then heard more shots continue to be fired.
The chief of police there says the irony, the shooter had just called 911 to report the suspicious vehicle. Dispatch said, "Stay in your house." He did not.
It's senseless to me. You know, this gentleman was in his house. He had already contacted 911. We had help on the way.
The single officer on duty in that area got there running toward the gunfire to get the group to safety. And the shooter's next move, of course, turned into a standoff with police. His son was inside too. It lasted an hour and a half.
Eventually, enough convincing caused him to think better and come out.
No one was hurt, but can you imagine how shaken up they were? What do you think about that?
I would have never done nothing like that. I mean, I would have asked if they needed some assistance, but...
And to be crystal clear, it was not even the man's property. Technically, they were pulled off on county property. Charges against him are coming. Stay tuned. Jessica Dupnik on The Edge.
A local doctor now under the scope of Oakland County prosecutors.
The doc from Rochester Hills is accused of secretly recording potentially thousands of naked children and women.
As Fox News' Dave Spencer tells us, some of the victims were reportedly unconscious during the alleged sex crimes.
This individual potentially is one of the worst I've ever seen.
Dr. Omer Ajas currently faces 10 felony counts, sex crimes that include recording kids as young as 2, changing at a goldfish swim school in Rochester, to sexually assaulting adult patients.
A woman is basically unconscious in a hospital bed, and he's violating her. To a 2-year-old, thinking they're out for a great swim day, and they're being captured naked. There's nobody that's out of bounds for this sick activity.
The Oakland County Sheriff says they have evidence dating back at least 6 years, and it was just recently brought to light.
The defendant's wife produced materials that were concerning the Oakland County Sheriff's Office immediately executed a search warrant and confiscated more devices.
At the doctor's Rochester Hills home on Sleepy Fox Drive near Adams and Hamlin, neighbors recall seeing him along with his 2 young boys.
Sometimes I would just see his little kids would play outside.
On August 7th, the sheriff says they took 6 computers, 4 cell phones, and 15 hard drives from that house.
Just one of the hard drives has 13,000 videos.
Videos which could lead to more victims and more charges. The Oakland County Sheriff says the doctor didn't have a home office and most recently worked for Henry Ford Macomb in Clinton Township and Ascension Genesis in Grand Blanc.
A contracted physician that went 2 different locations for a company rather than having his own specific practice.
Investigators say the swim school, along with both hospitals, are fully cooperating with the investigation. The doctor is being held here in the Oakland County Jail on a $2 million bond. Meanwhile, investigators are still looking for more victims to come forward. They've set up an email account where people can detail their accounts of what happened to them. You could find that at fox2detroit.com. In Oakland County, Dave Spencer on The Edge.
One observant West Bloomfield police officer saves a 12-year-old girl from a suspected sex predator. We're told the officer was patrolling around 1 a.m. last Thursday at Long Lake and Orchard Lake when he spotted a vehicle at a nearby park after hours. According to the Oakland County Prosecutor's Office, 25-year-old Joshua Brownhill of Detroit has committed sexual acts with this child for the past 2.5 months and was fully aware of the girl's age. He was given a $3 million bond for first-degree criminal sexual conduct.
A pervert alert in Taylor. A man wearing only boxer shorts approaches a child at Boardman Park. Police say last week the man asked the child to show their private parts and then he would do the same. The suspect is described as an older, heavyset white male with short, light-colored hair and glasses. He fled the scene on a gray bicycle. Anyone with information, call Taylor Police.
Well, new video showing the moment a suspected arsonist set a car on fire in a post office parking lot on Detroit's east side.
And the blast sending the suspect flying backwards onto another vehicle. Fox 2's Dave Kinchin with more explosive details.
In a word, boom. Video from a dash cam shows a man blowing up a white 2018 Chevy Traverse last Thursday afternoon as it was parked outside the post office at Harper and Woodhall on Detroit's east side.
It's even more surreal, like actually watching it, you know, in the act.
We showed the video to Tiffany Randall, who owned the SUV seen getting firebombed. She works at the post office and says it happened when she was out delivering the mail. The disturbing phone call still haunting her.
It's just a lot. I'm going to sleep thinking about it, waking up thinking about it. It's just like my mind is just constantly running.
The video, released by Detroit police, shows a man throwing an object at the front passenger side window, breaking the glass. Cops then say he pours an accelerant inside before the explosion. The fire spreading to 6 cars total, charring 4 of them. A still picture shows the man's face clearly injured from the blast. Tiffany says she still has no idea who the guy is ever since our original story went viral.
I know a lot of people are wondering if I know who he is. I've been seeing that a lot, you know, with people saying, oh, she has to know who he is. And I absolutely don't. If I did, I wouldn't be here, you know. Right. I wouldn't be doing, you know, they wouldn't have to put the photos out because I don't know why I would know who he is and not tell on him.
Police say the suspect is a heavy-set guy last seen in a dark hooded sweatshirt with a white shirt underneath, also wearing blue jeans. Tiffany says she won't be able to rest until he's behind bars.
I haven't been back to work, really. No, I don't feel safe. Not at all. Because at first it was a question of, was this a random act? You know, was it, you know, my vehicle that was targeted? Was it another one? But to actually see it happening, it's like, oh yeah, he meant to do my vehicle.
If this suspect looks familiar to you, you're asked to call Detroit police right away. Dave Kinchin on The Edge.
Well, this was a messy one early this afternoon. A Penske rental truck crashed on I-94 at 9 Mile, spilling the contents all over the road. Those were bottles upon bottles of Greek salad dressing. The freeway didn't fully reopen for 5 hours because of the messy cleanup.
Another cooler day for August, but summer, we're hearing, will return.
That's right. Indeed, it will. We have a nice stretch of weather ahead with that warm weather that we all love. Captain Rich Luderman has a look at our forecast.
We're moving in the right direction, Roop and Taryn. Certainly no big storms anywhere across the lower 48. For us, it's been cooler than average the last couple of days. And chilly nights has been one of the highlights with this stretch. Let's zoom in and show you. It's all quiet out there. Detroit over to Grand Rapids, down to Columbus, out to Toronto. Here are your daytime highs. 73 for us. Some parts of Michigan stayed in the 60s today. Port Huron, Bad Axe, there's Lansing topping out at 69. Grand Rapids made it to 71. Here are the numbers at the airport, 73 and 56. Averages 81 and 63. So quite a few degrees below where we should be, and that sunset continues to get earlier. Look at Ann Arbor, already down to 48. There's 52 in Port Huron, 53 in Howe. Mount Clemens coming in at 57. The breeze is very light, but the flow is from the north and northeast. Dew points are quite low for the middle part of August, so as a result, it stays dry and quite comfortable the next couple of days. 61 Chicago, 52 in Pellston, 59 in Toronto. There's Pittsburgh, 58 degrees. A lot of green on the map. But there's the reason why we have all the good weather. High pressure parked over Green Bay is slowly going to drift off to the east and southeast. There's low pressure in New England. That's far off to our north and east. So let's enjoy this long, dry stretch of weather. Warmer temperatures are coming our way for the weekend, and they start on Friday. For the rest of tonight, it's cool, it's dry, just a few fair weather clouds out there, just a light flow from the north. Tomorrow, a good-looking Wednesday, lots of sun, very nice, not a warm day, but very comfortable in the afternoon. And then notice in the 7-day forecast, there's our climb to 85 by Saturday. Sunday, 87 degrees, and then notice the humidity comes for early next week. So summer is just around the corner, so to speak, for the middle part of August. We'll check it starting at 4 a.m.
I watched this union head. He's an incompetent guy. He's approving for what he did, for what he's allowed. Every job, every auto worker here will be out of a job within 3 years.
Former President Donald Trump taking shots at UAW President Shawn Fain today while campaigning in Howell. Trump says funding the police and bolstering the border are key to making America safe again, which is the focus of his campaign. The event was closed off to the public, and the former president did not answer any questions. Well, some special guests back in the spotlight at the Democratic National Convention.
Former President Barack Obama and his wife Michelle headlining tonight's event in Chicago. Let's take you there live and take a listen to the former president.
The crazy conspiracy theories, this weird obsession with crowd sizes. It just goes on and on and on. The other day I heard someone compare Trump to the neighbor who keeps running his leaf blower outside your window every minute of every day. Now, from a neighbor, that's exhausting. From a president, it's just dangerous.